So this guy, Elon Musk, has anybody ever heard of him?
Yeah. Of course.
He's only the richest guy in the world. He's running multiple different companies. He's got SpaceX, he's got Tesla, he's got the Boring Company. What is it? Not the Boring Company. Yeah, the Boring Company, the Tunnel Company. He's got the Neuralink that he's got going on. What's the thing that he's throwing? He's got X, obviously. Thank you for that. Formerly known as Twitter. We all know that. What's the company that he put in the sky with all the satellites?
Starlink.
Starlink, thank you. But the company that's making news these days, other than X, thank you, Leanna Hawkins, is Neuralink. And they just put their first brain chip into a human. Oh, wow. So Elon Musk brain-computer interface Neuralink has implanted its first brain chip after receiving FDA approval earlier this year. Musk tweeted that the patient is recovering well and that Neuralink's aim is to plant brain chips so the human race can keep up with artificial intelligence, AI. So the first product is called telepathy, and it would allow people to control their phones or computers just by thinking. Planting the chip in part of the brain that controls motor function would also enable people to overcome neurological disorders. They have helped paralyzed people walk again. He has restored touch and speech and helped people with stroke, Parkinson's, and ALS. That's Lou Gehrig's disease. The downside, according to Reuters, in 2022, Neuralink testing resulted in the death of 1,500 animals, including sheep, monkeys, and pigs. So, I don't know, that's allegedly according to Reuters. So, ladies, thumbs up, thumbs down. Here we go. Adrian, throw it, grab your little thing, grab your thing in your hand. Bring Amy back ASAP.
Have her come this way. Have her come.
Amy, go this way, quick, run.
Come this way and then around.
Hear the heels clapping.
Do everyone have your thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah. This
if
way.
you were able to put in...
This way, around.
If you're able to put Neuralink into your mind, okay, have a seat, Amy, thank you. If you're able to put Neuralink into your brain, and it helped you become superhuman, would you do it?
Like the movie Limitless?
Yes or no? Like the movie what?
Limitless?
Exactly. Would you do it? Yes or no? Hold them up.
I'm scared. YOLO?
Green or red, ladies and gentlemen?
It's too simplified.
Green or red?
Not sure. With restrictions?
We have green. We have green. We have red. We have red. We have red. We have green. We have.
You gotta pick a side.
Red.
In the middle.
Red. Green. So Adrian, you said green.
No.
Why would you do this?
Look, in tech, you don't do the alpha product, not even the beta. So I'll let alpha and beta be released, and then we'll see.
So explain what that means. When would you do it?
I would do it on the third product iteration.
So you would do this?
If all goes well in the alpha and the beta. So you do those rounds of sort of use and testing and involvement, and thereafter, then maybe.
Now, why would you do it?
I mean, I think we have exhibited our Homo sapien ceilings and capabilities, and I think there's another realm to attain in terms of superhuman speed, intelligence, you name it, especially the speed at which our brain receptors are firing. I think that can be limitless, so to speak. So we'll see.
So at what point is this sort of a, how do I put this, disrespecting God?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. There is a huge part of this when it comes to transhumanism, where you're talking about embedding technology within the human being that completely is in direct conflict to God's word, and you can literally read it in the Bible. Like,
yeah, but we do surgeries with a whole bunch of technology with screws in our body. And
yeah, but that's very different.
Even if you have a link in your head and you do still have an end date where you do die, I mean, you're still going through life. It doesn't mean that you can't get help to look. You've got paralyzed people walking now. You know, like now they get to experience life differently. These people were paralyzed for many years. Of course, there's pros and cons, but if you're saying this link is going to make you live forever, that's different than, hey, this link is going to help you maybe be able to walk again.
That's not what they're talking about, though. What they're talking about is the fact, think of ChatGPT, right? How often have we used ChatGPT to do something that we could probably do ourselves, but it's much easier doing it that way? That's what the brain is going to be able to do within a split second for any task that you assign it. And for me, that is very fucking dangerous, especially in the wrong hands. We should be judging people by the value of their merit, what they can actually do, not an AI implant in their fucking brain. I think that is satanic. I think it's evil. And if the world continues to follow that, shit.
So there's positives and negatives, and I want to get your guys' points on this. Tony, I'm coming to you next. Okay, so if you're paralyzed, you would do this, yes?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You're paralyzed.
Yes.
Okay, you would do this. If you were dealing with a major neurological disease, okay, Parkinson's, ALS, you would do this. You have nothing to lose right at this
100%.
point.
Literally.
You would do this, okay? If you had a stroke and you couldn't speak, or if you were brain dead, you would do this, right? So we're all in agreement here, yes?
Yes.
So if you've got major issues, you would do this. So if you're normal, you're saying you wouldn't do this?
I just think that there is something very dangerous. It's a slippery slope, right?
Everything.
Because if we can justify one thing, like for example, hey, it's fine, rape. If you get raped, you can justify abortion. Hey, that's a slippery slope for justification. And I think it's the exact same thing when it comes to your mental cognition and your functionality. Like if you are literally going to embed a robot, an AI implant in your brain and let that overtake you, our thoughts are meant to be dedicated by our subconscious brain, which takes a lifetime to be able to accumulate. If we have a chip implanted in our brain, are we really thinking our thoughts, or is the person who implanted that in our brain thinking them for us?
Thank you. That's my biggest concern, is
Of course.
programming.
There's always the
My
programming
biggest concern
behind it.
is being programmed. I felt like anyone. Nat, I'm coming to you, and then Tony. Okay, we can all understand if someone's fucking paralyzed, dealing with major issues, neurological disorders, of course, they have nothing to lose. But if you're a regular person, life's going good. One of the biggest issues that people are talking about these days is DEI versus meritocracy. At this point, if you don't even have to earn it anymore, why even have to do it? What are you going to say, Leanna?
I want Amy to clarify if you or your child or someone, a deep loved one, had a neurological disorder or an issue, and this is a question with absolute no judgment.
Yeah, no, it's really
because
hard.
I want to know from a religious perspective too, and just even my own thoughts. Yeah, if your child was disabled, would you do it?
It's really hard. It's really hard. And again, you can look at this with the thing I drew it analogous to was the abortion thing, right? You can talk about the recent case that came out where the woman was saying, my child is going to be born with neurological issues. They're going to die within X period of time. And the government fought to prevent her from getting her abortion, right? I think in a way, the two can kind of be analogous. Like, yes, it's very fucked up, some of the things that you may have to go through due to the cause that you're dealt with in life. But as soon as you come to taking the role of the creator and directly defying, you know, the cause that you've been dealt. I mean, there's ways that you can be able to maybe enhance your situation or help, but when it comes to shit like this, like, I don't know, I feel like it's crossing a line.
Because then, yeah, even just if you simplify it even a little bit more, like what Nat was saying, like even just surgery to put in a piece of titanium in your arm because or your leg or whatever may have happened. Is that simplified enough if it's not AI involved or it's not high tech involved?
Yeah, I mean, and we talk about that with stem cells, right? Because stem cells come from aborted babies. Therefore, this is already a debate that's happening. A lot of people have benefited from stem cells, but that only comes from aborted babies. So are we saying that, okay, it's fine in that example?
Let's let Tony weigh in right here real quick.
Yeah, I agree with Amy. I think God gave us two beautiful things, which is free will and intelligence. And I think interrupting with our specific intelligence kind of interrupts with our progression of humanity.
But are we using intelligence to create something to help the people who are struggling?
No, absolutely. And I think that's why God gave us intelligence, because we are doctors and we are professionals that can help humanity. But once we're inflicting onto our own intelligence, where do we go from that?
When it becomes out of our control.
Yeah, when it comes out of our control. So even going off of if someone was, paralyzed or neuro disease, there are people out there that think God's plan is your plan and whatever happens, happens, and they don't do anything medical-wise if they're super religious. And if you were to go off of, again, that if you are religious and you are using medical as your, if you're sick and you're using Advil or something, our intelligence created Advil, and that's why we have intelligence.
All right. Adrian, final word here, buddy. You've seen these beautiful, capable, smart ladies weighing on AI. Tell us what, as an expert in this field, Oh,
We need to hear her
Oh,
opinion.
okay,
What's the
Leanna. I
opposite
thought
of
Leanna
that?
was gonna go.
Seriously.
No, I just think about things. I think about things deeply and from different perspective, and I think there's no one right answer, especially when religion is involved as well and what your beliefs are. I also think it's really easy for us. I don't know if the two of you have children. I don't have children, but I think it's easier for us as independent women who don't have children, who don't have a disabled child, or don't have someone close to you in your family that you see struggling every day. Like, I think it's easy for us to say no.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what my answer would be.
Would it
is
be your
what my
child
answer is,
still
but
if
I'm
they
not
can't think
judging
for
either side of
themselves?
the-
Would it be your child still if they can't think for themselves? How do you know what your child's personality is if you chipped them?
Well, I was going to say the reason why I brought up the abortion, because it's the same for many women. I'm sure a lot of Christian conservative women probably feel the way about certain things until they're put into a situation themselves, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how slippery does that slope go? You know, at the end of the day, you're founded in your morals and beliefs, or you're not. And I think otherwise the world's going to show you what you believe in.
Adrian, final word, because then we got to get to the.
No, I would get your final word, buddy. Especially given your background with your family,
Yeah.
what would you do?
Oh.
See, I'm the only one who can question this guy because I've known
Well,
him since
Yeah.
Listen, this is something that is so new, and I agree with you is that I'm not in a rush to this. But if I'm disabled,
Oh.
I mean, what? At the purest
me
level, if I'm paralyzed, I have. Forget about God. How many people, when they're dealing with the worst of the worst times in their life, they're questioning the existence of God. They're questioning God. The fastest growing religion in America, in the world, is atheism. There's disbelief in God.
Yep.
There's rough things out there. Life is tough. So if you're paralyzed and you're like, what? I'm dealing with this or whatever, you're as desperate and as desolate as it gets. Of course, you're going to do anything you can to improve your life.
Exactly.
You know, you're whether it's blasphemous or not, you're going to do what you have to do to basically improve your life.
Live like a normal person.
It's what?
Live like a normal person if you
Yeah.
can.
So where I'm having a problem with right now is like, we're all normal people. I don't think there's any reason for any of us
For sure.
to start doing this. But here's what happens is the early adopters, the people who need it the most. And then there's going to be people that are like, eventually like, you know, the people who line up for the newest iPhone. They're going to be like, I want the newest Neuralink chip. There's going to be those people. And what happens is the biggest fear is that humanity is going to all of a sudden saying is like, this fucking idiot right now is basically the smartest guy in the room right now? Okay. I remember when this guy basically couldn't put two and two together and was broke and homeless and just basically was a loser. But now he's got the Neuralink in it and he's like the fastest, smartest, coolest guy in the world ever out there. He's faster, better looking, stronger, cooler, better, sexier, everything. And it's like, all right.
It was Bradley
I guess I gotta
Cooper in that
compete.
movie, right? Limitless,
Yeah.
where that was like it was
That
a
was
case
just a
of
pill,
that,
though.
not
That
a
was
case
a
of
pill.
is your child disabled?
Does everybody
or-
want to hear a good Adam story? real
Yes.
quick?
Oh, that has nothing to do with
Yeah, it does.
this.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'll say it because of this. This is why this guy is so good. God made him good, but we knew each other since we were 15. This guy came strolling into our school to play sports. He was a hell of a basketball and football player. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy played college football. Unbelievable. But he came into our school, and he was the funny guy. He was clearly the class clown. Everybody was just cracking up at his laugh.
true.
You guys ever heard this guy's laugh?
Yes, we hear it every day.
Thanks,
Yeah,
bro.
but it's great. It's infectious. And here's the thing: after about a couple weeks, we're trying to do it, you know. We talk like that if we're trying to talk under our breaths. I met his dad, and what people don't know is that Adam's dad was disabled. He had a form of cerebral palsy.
Yeah, cerebral
of
palsy,
sorts. And here's this kid who grew up in the toughest of conditions. This was not when we had huge social safety nets. They subsisted as a family on, government disability handouts. He had the lot of life against him, and he and his sister were these incredible, gregarious, vivacious, talented, athletic people that were just incredible. And I couldn't believe how everything that Adam was surrounded with, because he grew up in this neighborhood there was a ton of affluence, and he had the least, and yet he had the most as a person. So if there's anyone who knows what it means to start from the bottom, and now he's here through his own grace and pulling up from his bootstrap, it's this guy. So that's why I asked you the question. There you go.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That's why we brought my best friend on the show. He's got to big me up. This is supposed to be a roast.
Oh,
But
we'll
now,
get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But I thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, my father had cerebral palsy. I'm thinking, what would have saved his life? Would Neuralink saved his life? Would because a pacemaker didn't save his life. He had heart issues. He had cerebral palsy. He had multiple issues. So I think this is a question that is worth asking. And I think this segment is everyone here probably knows somebody in their life that is dealing with some major challenges, whether that's someone with Down syndrome, whether that's someone with muscular dystrophy, whether that's someone that's paralysis, whether that's someone who has a stroke. But Elon Musk is at least enabling these conversations. So am I going to be the first person to run off and get Neuralink? Nah, probably not. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.